about the Baker Center. And to do that, I would like to introduce everybody who's on our team here. I want you guys to just stand up so they know. Linda Schein, who's managing director. Denise Dahlhoff, who's better be here. She's here, I'm kidding. But she's not in the room. Sue McMullen is here. She's our Director of Student Affairs and Operation. And Keith Hardy-Merritt, who's our marketing assistant and does all our social media, and he's going to be tweeting. Do we have a hashtag? Do we have a hashtag? What is it? Do we know? We got to know. How can we tweet? What? Come and say this loud.
Hashtag is HVG, High Velocity Growth Event.
Okay.
HVG event.
All right. So start tweeting. Okay. So I want to tell you a little bit about the Baker Retailing Center, and then we'll get right into our program. The Baker Retailing Center was started about 11 years ago by Jay Baker. When he retired, he was the president of Kohl's, and we like to think he was the one who made Kohl's what it is today. And he was a Wharton undergrad. So when he retired, he gave a very nice gift to Wharton. And the goal of the gift, he endowed our center, was to connect academics with industry, executives in retailing. When Jay started this center 11 years ago, 2 of our Wharton students went into retailing. Now hundreds do. And part of that is a direct result of the Baker Retailing Center. And what we do at the Retailing Center in working with industry and academics, first we create new state-of-the-art knowledge. So we try to do really cutting-edge research. And we have conferences like this to bring together academics and industry people to do that. The other thing we do is on-campus activities. So we bring people like Mickey Drexler, Terry Lundgren to our campus to speak to our students and inspire our students to go into retailing. And then finally, we do a lot of global initiatives. I just came back from Milan where we were doing luxury. It was fun. So come with me next time. Just to give you an example of some of the things, this is our industry advisory board. It was started originally by Jay, and a lot of his colleagues in the industry joined on when he came. So we have everyone who's who in retailing, and you can see a lot of different companies represented. They're all C-suite people on our board. We also more recently started the Directors Council, which are young, up-and-coming, I guess you can't call them startups anymore. Warby Parker, of course, is like king of eyeglasses. But most of these are younger people who started with these companies, and they come and tell us about what's happening on the in the online world. We also have a lot of faculty affiliated with the Baker Center, and you probably can't read everything, but what I want to point out is it's cross-discipline. As everybody knows about retailing, it's not just marketing or operations. We have finance people. We even have healthcare people, management people. All the different departments in Wharton, real estate, are on our board. We've done a lot of these conferences where what we're trying to do is look at what are the important areas in retailing that academics can contribute to retailing industry. We're not consultants, and we're not in the industry, but academics have a different way of looking at problems, and we think the collaboration of working with industry and faculty is a really interesting one. And over the years, we've done some of these. We did emotions in retailing. A few years ago, we talked about how can you make money on Facebook? Well, we figured that out, I guess. Now, blending the advertising and retailing, you know, what does it mean now? What is advertising? 4 Ps, that's a thing of the past now. You know, it's one big mush. And so we had conferences on that kind of stuff as well. So I just want to say a little bit. Today, the theme of today's conference is the Customer 2025. So it's really the future of retailing. What is the customer going to look like? And so we've talked a lot, and I'm sure you all have your own list of this. But what is retailing? How is retailing changing? And we think this is a really interesting time for the Baker Center to be involved in retailing, because I really do think it's the beginning of a paradigm shift. You know, technology coming into retailing and trying to figure out how to make retailing a seamless experience over all of these different channels. The people used to talk about it as multi-channel, then omni-channel. Those are all passé. You know, now it's just seamless experience of retailing. And what does that mean? What kind of data do you collect in the store? What kind of data do you collect outside the store? All of these things are very interesting questions. That being said, seamless experience technology, I don't think anyone's predicting the end of the physical store. I mean, what's online now? 25, 30%, I guess, on average, and we still, as those of you know exactly, is that about right? Is that more than that, we think? But nobody thinks it's going to be 100% online, I don't think. And the physical store is really important, but it has to change. So how's the physical store going to change? Walmart's making smaller stores. You know, these are really interesting ideas, how these things are changing. Absolutely, it's all about data, 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 analytics, analytics, analytics. Somebody was saying, if you want to go into marketing, can you go into marketing today and not know about data analytics? I don't think you can. So, and that's a really big change. And how do you use that data? How do you use that information to make informed decisions? Also, this other idea of retail brands becoming media, the idea of these flagship stores, has to do with the blurring of advertising and retailing. How do you market now? A lot of the marketing is being done in flagship stores. As a result of all these changes in the industry, we're seeing market changes in how consumers shop and consumers' expectations. This notion, for example, that you should have it delivered within 2 hours, that's kind of a crazy idea. Where do people get that idea from? But that is what they're thinking, you know? Your apartment or your home is your dressing room. All of that is really different, and how is that changing the experience? And so that's another thing we're studying. And I think bottom line, which is the focus of this conference, you have to start with the customer. How does the consumer shop? We have to understand that behavior in order to deliver this seamless experience. And so that is what this whole program is about. These are just a brief listing of some of the topics we're going to see today. But really, if you think about it, all of it is about what is the customer going to look like in 2025? How's the mall going to be different? How's the shopping process going to be different? What should we know? What should we get from our data? What's the integration? What's the role of all the partners in the retail chain? These are the topics that we're going to talk about today.